one of the engineering company did this, who I know, and they co-located engineers at customers. So each engineer had to spend 1 week on site with a customer, and they had to work there, right? So that was kind of like the home office or co-located office with a customer, and they were seeing how the customer is using. They heard all the frustrations, right? So they got like the first-hand experience from the customer. So that's kind of like, if you can do it, that's one of the best things. If you can for a long time observe how your product is used, so not just like screen recording softwares and those kind of things, but actually be there physically and force your employees to be there physically with your customers, that's perfect. You can learn a lot, and that's kind of like the 11 on the scale of dog fooding.
I see. Okay, so back to why do we want to observe people, right? So first thing is people tend to lie. We tend to lie even ourselves. For example, 80% of people say that they are better than the average driver. And we really think that. And also, if you ask hotel guests how gym is important for them in a hotel, 70% will say that it's very important for them, but only 16% will use the gym, and the rest will drink gin and see soft porn in the TV. And also, second thing is respondents want to show an image. We always want to show an image. We want to be honest. We want to be intelligent, smart, and things. So we will just project an image for the interviewer. And if we are in a group interview, it's even more prevalent.
Yeah, it's a lot of signaling is going on. So it's like you don't want to be seen as someone who is not intelligent. You don't want to be seen as who has no taste or who is not appreciating fine arts and those kind of things. So there's like kind of like societal pressure on you to just like project, as you said, and signal. Basically, this is what signaling is.
The third one is we don't want to hurt the interviewer. So for example, if you show respondents a very, very bad website, and the respondent may think that the website is developed by the interviewer or took part in it, then we don't want to say that, oh, sorry, but this is very, very bad. This is a very shitty website, because this is just not polite, and people usually are very polite.
This is why you have to always like get all the weights off from them and tell them, okay, actually, I'm not working for them. So actually, I'm working for them, but I don't building this thing. So I appreciate all the honest feedback because you cannot hurt me. So you always have to be upfront about and very explicit about they cannot hurt you or your feelings for that matter.
Right. And also, we always state that there is no right or wrong answer, because what the schooling education system taught us, that there is always a right answer. And in research, qualitative research, quantitative research, there is no such thing as right answer.
Let me diverge here for 2 minutes. So there is this marshmallow spaghetti challenge where they give students, and they actually groups of people, spaghettis and marshmallows, and they have to build the tallest building with that, right? And they observe different kind of people in kindergarten or
university students
or actually people who are well versed in construction and engineering and even CEOs for that matter. And the result was quite stunning, because those who were studying MBA, for example, or economy at university, they fare much worse than people in kindergarten. So children, small children. And who did the best? It's actually like who had the domain knowledge, like actually engineering or just some background in construction, because they had obviously the background knowledge. But the takeaway was that even small children, what they do, they just mess around, right? So they try and fail and try and fail. They iterate, and it's much better than the management studies university students who think that there's just one single solution of the tallest building which can be built from this, right? That's kind of like a takeaway how university kind of messes you up a little bit. There is no single right answer. You have to mess around. You have to iterate. And if you allow to fail at first and iterate a lot of cycles, you get much better at the end. It's also one reason why people lie, because they just don't know, right? So if you ask me, and I want to be helpful, I'm going to try to come up with a reason. But most of the decisions are actually made on the emotional level. So they never surface to the prefrontal cortex for us. And it's actually backed up by science that you already know the answer, and only like after the fact you rationalize it, post-rationalize the decision. So that happens with AI as well. So if you don't have these large language models, that it's okay to say you don't know, they try to come up with some answer and they hallucinate. And that's the same thing with people. They hallucinate. They quite certain they know, but obviously it's not the reason.
How can we observe